what to play, what is up? It is Claire here, and we can all appreciate a good game every now and then, but not all of us are lucky enough to have high specs on our PC. So lucky for you, we have tested these games out on the 7th Gen i3 with an integrated Intel HD graphics and running on an 8GB RAM with a monitor resolution of 1680 by 1050. So here are our top 10 low specs games on the PC, all arranged by PlayScore. The PlayScore is an average of gamer and critic ratings. When a game only reaches the minimum requirement of critic or gamer reviews, it receives a provisional PlayScore. Coming in at number 10 is Y2K, a postmodern RPG. Getting mixed reviews on Steam and some decent ratings from critics, Axe Studios' indie RPG laden with hipster vibes is polarizing at best. Harking back to the 1990s with its visuals and characterization, you either get it or you don't. Y2K brands itself as a surreal Japanese-style RPG, becoming obvious with their heavy-handed references to the quirky, witty, and underrated Mother series, or Earthbound for the North American fans. Telling the story of a liberal arts major, Alex, and his friends through visual novel style and JRPG-like combat, you can expect Y2K to be easy on whatever low-end laptops and desktops you have. Requiring only 2 gigs of RAM and basic Intel graphics, you can experience its unique offering of the turn-of-the-century angst and dialogue. Not exactly the most universally praised title, you can at the very least find out for yourself. It has a provisional PlayScore of 7.33. Ninth on our list goes to the Eternal Castle Remastered. Obnoxiously plastering Remastered onto its title, Eternal Castle markets itself as a remake of the 1987 title with the same name. Nobody's entirely sure if there was such a game back then or not, but for the most part, the consensus about the game is, fortunately, it's pretty good, remake or not. With its bright pixel environments, Eternal Castle plays at a steady 18 frames per second. But before anyone of you gets disappointed, that's how it was intended to be, and that's exactly how it played on our low-end devices. Rendered with computer-generated animation, the game's visuals definitely look rough, which only adds to the believability of its supposed retro 1980s origins. Telling the tale of a world post-AI using colorful and purposive silhouettes, Eternal Castle is an enjoyable package of sights, sounds, and story. Whether or not it's a remaster, what's important is it's here, it's decent, and it works. It has a PlayScore of a 7.77. 8th on our list goes to Spinnortality. Looks like cyberpunk is a huge trend among this list of low-spec games. This one from developer James Patton, on the other hand, is less action-packed shooting sequences and more mindful destruction. A cyber simulation at its heart, Spinnortality lets you play the other side of the revolution coin by putting you at the heart of an evil global megacorporation. Mastermind stock market crashes, forward automation in place of human workers, or rig the next developing nation's elections, all with a click of a button. All of this is presented in their stylish UI with sleek maps and menus that never fail to tell you the news and updates of the latest bad deed. Overlooking the whole world in one place, it leaves whatever disastrous consequences to your imaginations, making it an incredibly light game for your system. A portable showcase of corporate's dark side, it has a provisional PlayScore of a 7.79. At number 7 is WarGroove. From the publishers behind the adorable indie farming simulator Stardew Valley, Chucklefish comes out of their picturesque farms and into the world of turn-based tactics. Inspired by the 2001 tactical classic Advanced Wars, they bring back their signature retro pixel aesthetics to introduce the turn-based genre through their detailed sprites, memorable characters, and inviting storyline. While some games in the art style might be a little taxing on graphics, WarGroove is decently optimized for low-end devices, running smoothly at 60 frames per second with no graphical tweaks needed. Paired with Chucklefish's style is an equally mesmerizing soundtrack to accompany the game's many campaigns. Far from perfect, WarGroove is a recent but hefty addition to any turn-based fan's library. Supporting cross-platform play, online multiplayer, local co-op, and a comprehensive level editor that lets you create maps and cutscenes, it's a well-deserved play score of an 8.09. At 6th place is Piku Niku. Devolver's got some of the most stylish titles in the indie lineup, but one of the best ones for your potato PCs is this quirky puzzle adventure game. Much like most indie titles, Pikuniku commits to naive minimalism with their simple hues, flat geometric shapes, and wobbly-legged characters. Going ahead into the important stuff, Pikuniku's gameplay stays at a pretty steady 60 FPS, except for a few hiccups in some areas. Its visuals isn't too far from what you would expect from today's crop of mobile games, but this game one-ups all of them by simply the charm of the execution. Simplistic and occasionally aimless as it is, it never feels cheap. Despite sticking with the traditional platforming, you never know what to expect from it as you jump from one vague objective to the next. A light mixed bag of pure delight, this might be the adorable albeit short title you need on your PC with a play score of an 8.11. Fifth place goes to Be Calm. Color Fiction's free-to-play casual game isn't really much of a game. It's an adventure that involves no gameplay at all. Be Calm introduces you to a literal calming experience as you drift through magical waters. Its dreamy watercolor aesthetics bring life to multiple biomes and offer a unique experience for players who just don't want to kill monsters and do silly quests. Simply use your mouse and voyage across its picturesque ocean. As a visual experience, it does take up a lot of GPU and PC energy. So as you are at the mercy of the wind and casting adrift on your sailboat, the game fluctuates between 23 to 30 FPS all throughout. It has a provisional play score of an 8.17. At fourth place is Catherine Classic. Before Full Body comes out on the Xbox One and PS4, this original version of the adventure puzzler from Atlas is about to steal your heart in a different way. It's unlike any other game from the developers. You don't fight demons, talk to them, or have a party member fighting in the name of friendship, but your choices will really matter in this game. Play as Vincent, a normal man trapped in a nightmarish curse after meeting a mysterious girl named Catherine. Aside from that, you patch things up with your fiancée, Catherine with a K, in its choice-driven scenarios. Gameplay involves running away from demonic creatures all while you move blocks strategically to climb on top in order to wake up from this nightmarish world. We played this game on its default settings and it's super entertaining, and the game runs pretty well, surprisingly. For low-spec gaming, you need to put your resolution at 1280 by 720. Enabling depth of field, bloom, blur, and anti-aliasing will give you a good frame rate average of 44 frames per second. It receives a play score of an 8.20. Third on our list goes to Takonaria. You gotta love pixel indie games for their low-budget charm. Crownbird's simple game doesn't have any story to complete and no hack-and-slash stylish combat. It's an adventure game that takes you to a Greek-inspired island with a ton of new things to discover. Enjoy its beautiful pixel scenery and take control of Anansi, a botanist, and Yaful, a manager of an island in Takonaria. It's a short game that requires no intense dedication. Dialogue is kept simple and it feels like a young developer's dream coming true. It's art and it's clearly shown that it's made with passion. The game runs very well, of course, on our powerful PC. 60 FPS never felt this good on a pixel art game. It has a provisional play score of 8.26. Second to the last goes to Unsung Warriors Prologue. We adore indie games on this list. It's the perfect genre when it comes to low-spec gaming. You don't need a fancy graphics card, a shiny RGB motherboard, or a huge monitor that supports 4K. All you need is the time and the place to play this lovely action-adventure game. Set in the Europe-inspired Iron Age, fight your way past a vicious horde of enemies and evade traps. Explore an ancient crypt and uncover its secrets. It's a game that can be played solo or with a friend. We tried it on our very reliable whatoplay PC, and yes, it runs pretty smoothly. It's a good-looking game that consistently gives us 60 frames per second. You just gotta love these kinds of indie games because there's not much to worry about optimizations. You could say that they really are the unsung heroes of this modern era of gaming. It receives a rating of 8.84. But before we reveal the number one, you can find your next favorite game on our website. It's called whatoplay.com. Yes, we have a new hoodie. Now, the links are going to be in this corner or maybe in the description box below. Okay, go on. And the top low-spec game on our list is Subnautica Below Zero. Unknown World's latest addition to their open ocean survival game takes you deep into an alien ecosystem in the dark and cold aquatic abyss. Set in a mysterious below zero planet, try to make it out alive by finding the necessary tools for your escape. Set in first-person mode, submerge into this unknown ocean and encounter friendly and deadly creatures of the deep. Below Zero is set in a freezing extraterrestrial planet, so try to survive its unpredictable ecological mess by finding the right materials, resources, and tools. As an early access game, it's almost unplayable. But hey, don't worry, you just need to sacrifice a few resolutions and some graphical quality changes in order to play it smoothly. Just decrease it to 1024 by 768 and you can get an acceptable 22 to 28 FPS. And besides, it's still an early access game, so there's more room to improve. It has a provisional play score of an 8.96. And there you have it! Those were the top 10 low-spec PC games. If you love this video, then give a like, give a share, and even subscribe to become a certified What to Player. And that's it for me. I'll see you again next time, okay? Bye, guys!